Do you need to leave them to get sober? It's actually a great question to ask yourself. So, if you're in a relationship with anybody, there tends to be, I guess, a point in all relationships where either you continue to do the things that were working in the beginning, or you kind of stop doing those things. So, I think married couples, especially, might be able to relate to this. So, at some point or another, especially in longer term relationships, when there's been the marriage and the kids and the house and the car, it's like people kind of stop putting in the effort. They stop trying to do the things that were working to attract that person initially. So, having things like dates, getting involved in those deeper levels of conversation, working through communication respectfully, calmly, and all those different aspects were something that they would do more so early within that relationship, as well as self-regulation. Maybe being more cautious in the way that they went about difficult times and the way that they chose to express themselves when they were going through hard times. And then later on, people kind of fall away from that. They maybe start to, get a bit lazy. They stop taking care of their physical health, or they stop having those conversations or doing those little date nights. And they just kind of go to work, stay maybe a little later, and just focus on making money. And they start to neglect time within the relationship. So, really, at the end of the day, here, what you don't maintenance falls apart. So, if you prioritize work, other aspects of your life are going to fall apart. And if you prioritize just your relationship, well, your work might fall apart. Your family unit might fall apart. There's all kinds of different things in life that you have to be able to maintenance in your life. It takes a very sober brain to be able to pay attention to all those different aspects in your life, all those different relationships, your work relationships, your family relationships, your community relationships, and your intimate relationships, and the relationships that you even have with your children. So there's really a lot of areas in life that we have to stay vigilant of, and that we have to be somewhat mindful of the level of effort and show up that we're putting into it. But let's be real. It takes two to tango, and not every relationship is going to stand the test of time. And in fact, at least 50% of relationships do fall away over time. So really, for you to be sober, what does that mean? Well, from the clients that I've seen, a lot of people actually turn to marijuana as a bit of a tool. It's kind of their last-ditch effort, as they don't really know how to solve the problems in their life. So they turn to something that will change how they feel in an instant. Because for them, that seems to be the only thing that they can utilize. So, if they work really hard on their job, and I say, hey, you should go work out, it's good for you, but they don't feel like they can do it. They're too tired, whatever reasonings that they have, they don't feel like they can do it. Most people would agree that the easiest thing you could do is reach over, grab a joint, put it to your lips, light it, inhale, and then you're done. So, marijuana can actually be very addicting, even though it's not addicting. And so what I mean by that is, on an emotional level, it's very easy for somebody to pick up a smoke and get high. And when they get high, it changes how they feel. A lot of people end up smoking because they want to change their internal experience, whether that's anxiety, depression, for some people it's anger. They hate their job, they hate their relationship, they have a lot of stress that they don't want to feel, but they still feel it. So what they do is they'll smoke to change that inner state. You get high, you don't think, oh man, I'm just too uptight, I was just overthinking stuff, whatever it is. But that pain's always there. to actually kind of help push you in a better direction. As we do tend to avoid pain in life, we'll do the easier things, then we'll do the things that are a little bit more painful that actually might give us more happiness in the end. So picking up a joint and smoking it is far easier than breaking off a relationship. So, or even having those difficult conversations that you may need to have. You may need to even reapproach doing the very things that you did at the beginning of your relationship and start bringing those things back. Do the dates, have those conversations, regulate yourself when she's having emotional ups and downs. Be able to, sit through those things and understand just as much as you're hurting. Probably she's hurting just as similarly as you are. And so who are you to get mad at her if you obviously don't want her getting mad at you? So you have to kind of give to that relationship in order for that to also come back. So all these things are quite easy to say, but for some people, actually ending that relationship is something that can be very beneficial to them getting sober. It's actually something that once they get rid of that relationship, they don't feel the need to escape and change that internal feeling, because now that's gone. It's just gone. They've left. They don't have those feelings that come up when they're pulling in the driveway, or they call their phone, or they text. Those things are just gone because they've now removed them from their life. So if you need to make an exit from a relationship, you need to actually get a solid plan. You need to look at, okay, what do I need to do? Do I have the finances? Is there any legal aspects to this? Do I need to get a lawyer? Whatever that may be is very individualistic. So if you need to leave a relationship to find that inner peace, then that's something that you need to plan for. And really, once you do that, it actually might be the very thing that helps you get out of smoking marijuana. So, if that's something that might help you, I'm happy.